and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, has just come out on December 16th. I saw it on opening day and thought it was a pretty good movie. This is the review by Toys for Fun 1 for Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, coming right to you guys. Enjoy. Okay, so the movie starts out, and we see in the beginning it introduces our Jin's father, Galen Arsa. Um, the movie is really good. It's like has a different tone than all the other Star Wars movies. Like when you go to each planet, they have like subtitles telling you where you are, and that's the first time that this has happened in a Star Wars movie that they've done that. So definitely, there's different things. The movie does not feature an opening crawl. It just jumps right into the movie, which is kind of exciting almost, because you feel like, okay, now I have to really listen because there's no opening crawl that's going to tell me what's going to happen. And so it starts out, and you see Krennic shuttle kind of flying towards Galen Arso's place, and then the movie continues from there. Saw Gerrera is actually mentioned more than I thought he would be. He's actually a really main part of the storyline, Saw Gerrera, but actually doesn't have a lot of screen time as well. So Darth Vader, Darth Vader. Okay, so Darth Vader. Darth Vader was actually, I think he was featured in like halfway through the movie. He was featured halfway through the movie, and he looked great. He came marching out of that area. It was such a great scene to see, and it was such a great introduction for him. And it was just such a great scene. And he didn't get a lot of screen time, but I think he got enough so it's not overwhelming, because they did not want this movie to be Darth Vader the main focus. They wanted it to be Krennic and some of the newer characters in this movie. The Death Star. So at the end, of course, all of the characters die. I think it was a good choice, actually, because they were trying to show what rebellions are for. They got the mission completed, and they did it. They completed their mission by getting the Death Star plans, but they did die while doing it. But those are rebellions. You might die, but you're going to complete the mission. So that's and I think it showed a really good rebellion. I think that's really good. It showed good rebellion. It showed what the rebellion is, and also showed how horrible the Death Star is, destroying two kind of parts of planets in this movie. And so yeah. Okay, so we have Grand Moff Tarkin in this movie, and he looks really good. It was nice to see him back, since he was such a significant part of the New Hope here. So that is, so that's cool. I feel like he didn't really he did influence the story, but it was really cool to see him back in the movie as well, too. So it was actually a great part of it as well. What I think about going back to all the characters dying in this movie is, well, it was definitely something, after maybe think about a lot, because you're first really mad about everybody dying. You're like, but I think they ended the movie great, so you kind of forgot about their death a little bit and thought of the hope at the end when Princess Leia, when they say, "What is this?" and she says, "Hope," and then it ends. I think that was a great way to end it, because if they switched around it and they had them die and then it ended, people would come out, and I would be saying completely different things in this review if that was like this. So, but it ended very well, and I think that that's how the movie went. And like in Star Wars, if you're either dead or you're a significant part of the storyline, and so they weren't going to be featured in any of the other films, so it would be better to kind of kill them off. So, yeah. Because the movie does not have an opening crawl, it's kind of let's just say like it feels different not having an opening crawl, but then when Jin gets rescued and Saw opens this rock and he says, "Come with me" or something like that, these words say Rogue One, and it's very startling. You're like, oh, I didn't know this was gonna happen. So they just say these words just say like this on the screen, Rogue One, and they don't even say a Star Wars story. It just says Rogue One, and then it ends like that. So that's really cool, and it doesn't actually feature. It doesn't have that circle come around and say a Star Wars story. It just stays with Rogue One. I think one of my favorite parts of the movie is kind of the beginning. It moves really fast and quick, and it really captures you in the first kind of minutes of the movie. We're getting jumped around to like a lot, like 5 different planets, and we're just getting jumped around everywhere. And we're like, okay, what's happening? Okay, well, back to Jin. We just saw a pilot get captured, so we're going around to a lot of places. It's kind of exciting when movies do that because you're like, okay, how's this gonna end up? So they introduced us to all these new planets in the beginning and kind of started the characters up, and they all met together. It was really kind of a cool way to see that. So yeah, they really expanded the Star Wars universe, and we also got a trading post, and thanks to thanks to the subtitles at the bottom, which is cool because we never had that before, like I said. In the trading post, we meet Cassian, and he just shoots this guy in the back because he's not going to help him. So he's willing to do anything for the rebellion, and I think that they really cleared out a lot of things that Star Wars fans questioned in this movie, especially a big gap in the storyline. Space battles were absolutely amazing. I mean, they were absolutely amazing. They combined new and old elements from the story. It was still great special effects, and they just were absolutely amazing. There's so many explosions in the space, and you would have the people in the X-Wing cockpits. They would act like they were in the New Hope, and so it was just really cool. And you felt like you were watching an original movie, but you're not watching an original movie. And so it just really felt really cool to me doing that. With all the Rebel spaceships kind of shooting out of hyperspace, that was really cool to me as well too. And get another picture of the space battles. There's a lot of explosions there, and what they do in this movie is they make you get connected to a character, and then they kill them off. And K2SO, everybody died. Literally everybody died. K2SO died. The whole Rogue One gang died. We had Krennic died. Like everybody died. So in this movie, but I think it was the right choice to do because they're again not going to show up in any of the other movies. So it's better to kill them off and show what rebellions are for, or show what you sacrifice when you join a rebellion, and that's what I really think was good. It shows you're going to sacrifice things when you join a rebellion, but you know, that's what they're for. That's what rebellions are. So it was really cool. We connected to a lot of the characters, too, and it was just a really great movie. The rebellion, this was a really cool part. Jin kind of stands up to the rebellion. They're talking about the Death Star and everything, and everybody's all negative, and then Jin says, rebellions are built on hope, and everybody starts going to Scarif and fighting the Empire. And Scarif, too, the final battle, it was really drawn out, really long battle, like very long. It was a very long battle. Scarif was a very long battle, but I think it was the right thing to do. It is the final battle, but I think it's like the biggest ground battle in Star Wars. It's super big. So yeah, it was a long battle. Jeddah was cool. Jeddah was mostly about Saw Gerrera here, about they're trying to get him for the message and stuff like that. Saw Gerrera's cave is kind of freaky. He uses like this monster to get people to tell the truth and stuff. he's kind of freaky when you first meet him, but then you see that he has kind of a nice soul inside of him. He also dies too in the movie, but yeah. So the Jeddah City thing, where yeah, this right here. A lot of the parts you see in the trailers and stuff like that, and you know, because you've watched the movie, they're not in. Like the AT-ACT, I'm pretty sure that was not in the movie, and they just made the hover tank more part of the movie than this. And so, I like the Jedi City ambush. It was kind of a fun scene. It was like a chase scene almost, and there was blasters and explosions everywhere. It was kind of a fun scene to see and stuff like that, as well. Of course, you gotta have light speed, guys. It's a Star Wars movie. Of course, you gotta have light speed. Light speed looked absolutely great in this movie. And let's talk about the planet. What is Yuta or something like that? It's a rainy planet, and so there we go. Okay, so it's like a rainy planet almost, and that's basically where Jin's father is. He dies as well, and Cassian actually tries to kill Jin's father, and I think, like I said, there's a different tone to this movie, too, as well. Tret is awesome. He's blind, and he's able to sense things before people who do have eyes, that are not blind. So, like, he is just an awesome guy. He can take down stormtroopers being blind. He definitely has the Force in him. And he believes in the Force. And then you have his partner, Baze Malbus, there. And I think Baze didn't really, like, do anything in the story. He was just kind of there. But he was just kind of like the protector of Tret. So I think that was good. Also because in the movie you hear him, he's like, Baze, you know, tell me what it looked like. Was it the whole city? Because he can't see. And I think that's cool because it shows a relationship between Baze and Tret, but also because they need to show friendship in this movie because Jin and Cassian are not truly friends until at the end. She doesn't even trust him when he's rescuing her from the prison that she was, the Imperial Label Camp. Well, the movie was absolutely great. I would give it about a 9.5 out of 10 just because I think it was kind of harsh to kill off all the characters. But again, I see that it's the right thing to do. It was a great movie. The music was actually really good. It's different, so you can't absolutely judge it because it's kind of a different Star Wars music, just kind of like the movie. But it's good. There's some really songs that I love, like the Imperial Suit, Jyn Erso and Hope Suit, the Wombi Imperial Labor Camp. That's also a song I love from the soundtrack. So it's a good soundtrack, but I think you just really have to listen to it and understand that the composer only had like under 4 weeks to do this project. And also, I mean, I'm not trying to say that the music's bad. I'm just saying, like, it just has a different tone. It's different. It's like different. It's different from the regular Star Wars music you heard in The Force Awakens, the originals, and the prequels. It's different from that. It's much different, but it still has that Star Wars ring to it. And once you listen to it, you just love listening to it. And of course, John Williams will be composing episode 8's music, and so that's great. We're looking forward to that. But I think that they want to keep John Williams for the actual chapters, and in the standalones, they're going to get very good composers like the one for Rogue One to do the music. So that was good. So overall, if I was going to rate the movie I'll give out of 5. I know I said 9.5 out of 10, but I'm just going to add it all up. Out of 5, the movie's going to get 5. So out of 5 points for the movie, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. So 4.5 out of 5. And then for the music, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. So that would probably get us to, yeah, so probably a good 9 out of 10 for overall, or 9.5 out of 10 for overall with the music and the movie. It was a great movie, and everybody has different things to say about it. I think it was just great, and you have to watch it a couple times to really understand everything and why everybody dies. And so yeah, everything was amazing. The special effects were beautiful. It was a great movie, guys. Hope you guys can see it soon if you haven't. But I hope you're not watching this review because this is containing spoilers. But yeah. So thank you guys for watching my review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and subscribe to our channel, to Toys for Fun 1, and subscribe to our Google Plus profile, and we'll see you guys again on another video. Stay tuned.